And I'll do it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Littlefish Foundation community meeting number 18, I think. And we just did our introductions, and I'll pass it along to Newman to talk about the open office hour that he got started last week.
Cool. Yeah. Very quickly, I made a video, but it might even be so short that I don't have to do the video. But for the folks that are, you can link over to it. But basically, one of the things that I really liked about Littlefish was the Ikigai, answering those 4 questions and doing it. And so I wanted to offer it over to the community. I enjoy bringing people through it. I think it's a great way to onboard, and it sets things in the right order. And so I was just like, okay, let's just have an hour where I just invite people to come and do, whatever, but mainly the Ikigai. And last Friday I did one, and Amir showed up, and we went through it. And I plan on doing it for the next, I plan on doing it for the next bit. So it's on the calendar. Come and stop by. It's at 1300 UTC on Friday. The next one is Friday the 5th. And come on by.
Awesome.
Oh, now the next one, I do want to play the video because the organizing the Littlefish Google Drive using the para method. Does anyone understand when I talk about the para method, the PARA method of organizing folders?
I do.
Simon does. Basically, and there's links to it in the document there, but it's Tiago Forte. He is sort of a thinker on these things, and he created this para method. Para stands for project, area of focus or area of responsibility, resources, and archive. A project is anything that has a beginning and an end, and then an area of focus is is basically what projects fit inside. This method is important because when people work as a group, they need to sort of have an organizational structure that's not too rigid, but allows people to work together. I think that's the real benefit of it. It's a framework, a loose framework to allow us to sort of share documents and whatnot. So I invite you, if you're interested, to look into this. It might be something that you take on, and I'm hoping that the Littlefish will, as the main first colony here, to take it on as a way to organize the files and folders and whatnot.
And this is very much needed at the moment, because if we look for Littlefish files, it's a mess. Probably lots of it in my Google Drive, lots of it is in Jim's, some in Simon's. It's terrible right now. So hopefully we build this shared drive with the para method that can scale as we grow and grow. And if we get everyone using it together, we can take care of it very well with the para method.
Yeah. No one's used it before. I would, yeah. You might really find that it makes a big difference. Just thinking in terms of those structural things, it helps to format, and you can organize all, like your laptop hard drive and your other things. It made a big difference for me.
Yeah, so actually, I think really important to use this is that we use the Littlefish drive. So for one, just putting it in the folder so we can find it. But and I include myself in this. Maybe I have some stuff on my drive that I have to put on there. So maybe we can all put it on the Littlefish drive. But also, if you're working a lot in the drive, that you regularly use the Littlefish account, because if somehow you lose your account and you put, or your account gets deleted or whatever, and you put it in there with your username, you're still the owner of that document. And yeah, and then the file would be removed.
So we also need to transfer the ownership, but we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it, I think. let's get them all into the littlefish drive first, and then we'll transfer ownership, take care of all of that, those details. Yeah. I think you have one more thing to go about.
Yep, I got one more thing, and this time I am going to share my screen, which is kind of silly, but here we go. Here is, so we are a Project Catalyst, or founded in Project Catalyst. It's not necessarily that we're just there, but I think that it's important to be mindful of where we are in Catalyst. And one of the things that's kind of semi-official is this Friday newsletter. And so here is the last Friday's newsletter, and they generally talk about the town hall and whatnot. And then this one was super important, and I want to stress, because it's something that I need to do, is register your wallets for the next voting round. And that happens, the snapshot will be on August 4th. So it's important for in the next couple of days to get your wallets registered. You do get rewarded for voting. I don't think it's very much. The VPA process is going on right now. Is anybody doing VPA work?
They wouldn't let me do it. Not veteran enough yet for them. Next
I
time.
wanted to, but I think you've got to do like 200 assessments, and I was like, no way. That just seems ridiculous.
Did you get the invitation, Newman?
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did.
Oh.
I did one PA. I did one, and I think that helped. I was just like, I got to do one. I had done a bunch, and then I lost the file. My computer crapped the bed, and yeah, it was horrible. But I did do one. Just so I could keep it up. And I thought I would do the VPA, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna let it go. But anyway, that work is going on, and that would be something that Littlefish, like I could see actions based around each of the things, like being VPA work. The Idea Fest. Did we represent at the Idea Fest at all? Did anybody go? Anybody do?
Yeah, I did one presentation yesterday, but I found it wasn't that worth it, to be honest. It was like 2-3 minutes, no Q&A, only about 8 people who are proposers themselves. So
right. Yeah,
it wasn't a very good place to market to voters, sadly.
Right. Yeah, it's a good idea. I think we're all trying to figure out like how to do the outreach. But I guess one of them was the Idea Fest Reels. So it was like more of a TikTok, like just the recorded ones, which the little chiclets of like the graphics. And I don't know if that was you, Jim, that did those graphics. They're super great for the individual Littlefish proposals.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was you. Yeah, sweet. I mean, it just brands it. It like gives each proposal its own like metaphor and color palette and all that design stuff. And
Yeah.
MJ, is that sort of your bag? Is that the kind of visual design you want to do?
Yeah, some of them were mine. I created with AI. Yeah, I prompted with the prompts. Yeah.
Oh, nice. See how cool we are? That's awesome. But yeah, so the 2-minute elevator pitch I think is super important. It's just where we're at, like being able to sort of get the gist across on video, then it can be shared. It sort of like gets into the pipeline. So I'm glad that they're doing that, and it does the time shifting, which they mentioned here. So that's really cool. The 360 updates, sometimes I watch them, sometimes I don't. But there's a new one out, and it's just monthly, I think. Did anyone watch it? Anything to report?
I think I just watched it and then forgot what it was about.
Right, but yeah. So nothing earth-shattering. That's good.
No.
I imagine they're still talking about the Vassal hard fork. It's just being sort of postponed.
And hopefully in the next month we'll have Basil.
Yeah.
But we're just building NFTs at this point, so we don't really care.
Right. And then this one, the accelerator day on the Melcomeda There's another one that I'm not too familiar with.
This is something we should look into, I think, in the next few months. This can be very high value. Like getting us on Cardano and onto other chains at the same time. Maybe that's a good way to go. Maybe not,
Right.
but still we should consider it at least.
And it seems like it matches up with the Forge, with like the developer folk here.
Yeah, we definitely have just responsibilities related to this within the Forge. Just,
Yeah.
cross-chain stuff.
Yep. And this one, which was featured in the town hall, is Zoe, who I always sort of a picture as Catalyst Swarm, but old school person around. But she's gonna do a like an informational stream on a Twitter account. Yeah, not to, just so, because there is such a fire hose, it's another sort of weekly thing. And then 169, that's the number of closeout reports. So I'm also curious about how we do the monthly reporting. So every funded proposal has to do a monthly report, and those are pretty important. And what's interesting is that you can go in and see every funded proposer's report at this link, which is pretty cool. Open transparency and stuff.
Yeah, you can find many of our reports in there.
Nice.
For a long time, they weren't shared. They were just private documents, just a Google Doc that nobody could access. But now you can.
Nice. Anyway, so that's sort of what is going on in Catalyst this week. And I'm going to stop sharing.
All right. Thank you, Newman.
You are welcome.
All right. So vote for us. Vote for Littlefish when the voting opens. Now we can jump into some roles and responsibilities of Littlefish. So last time we had a community meeting, we went over all the different proposals we have for this round. This time we're going to dive a little bit deeper into those proposals and look at what kind of roles are within them, what type of responsibilities exist within them. And these are all roles and responsibilities that anyone can just hop on and do, anyone can earn from. That's kind of the point of all these proposals. These are big within purpose. They're big. There's a lot of money in there, and the aim is to like crowdfund this operation and get each and every little fish who's interested in doing this stuff actually generating some actions and earning from all of these. So let's dive right into them. And if you have any questions at any point, please, you can jump in, you can interrupt, or you can use the reactions to ask questions. All right. And I'll be sharing all the links in the chat as well. So let me put that right here.
There you go. I got it.
You got it? You got the
Yep.
roles of fish one? This is a new board. So let's get a big picture. So the entire thing, this is a new version of our Ikigai model that is entirely built on these roles and responsibilities that I'll be talking about in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Once you go through this, I mean, if you don't know anything about Littlefish, you jump in here, you spend 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, you'll have a very good idea what we're doing with all the proposals. At least you'll have a good idea of the things that you might be interested in, how you can help. And then like actually go out and start helping. So let's start here. This is the main area. I'm going to start right here because this is how I started building this out. And I first put out all the proposals. These are the proposal images that Jem made, that Newman was mentioning. Beautiful. And I also want to show this. This is something MJ made that I used in all our proposals to symbolize this. They all have this as the cover. Collective action is the main idea. So going into proposals. So each of our proposals have what we call our modules, and modules are just groups of work that are related. And these are all color coded according to all the different groups that we have at the Littlefish Foundation, and we'll get to them in a little bit. So if you see something yellow, that's the Tech Help Collective. It's all related to technology, learning the technology and teaching it to others. So we have different modules, digital work tools, DAO tools, wallets, and you can find everything about what these are within here. You can just click this, open this, that will open the proposal, and you can read the proposal for it. You can also find these on our vault, which I shall be putting the links into on this board as well to make it a lot easier. But within here, you can scroll down and get to module, and this explains what this is all about. So you can learn exactly what this is, what we want from this module, what type of work, how many hours we're expecting for this to take, that kind of thing. So we do that for each proposal. Sadly, not for the law one, because the law one we have a dedicated group. But I'll be putting that on here as well, Elias, for you. Didn't expect a lawyer to pop up really. So you can find all the different work here. You can see these are the definition. These are the roles that we have for each of the modules. These are just names that I came up with. Some things that you see here probably will not match with the part that I'm about to show you. If you find better names, please drop some comments or just put down a better name there. Let's change these. Let's make these as gamified and as fun as possible. This isn't work. This is just something we do for fun. Let's say it like that. But this is the main area. This is where we define all the different types of work in much more detail than right here. So at the top are the groups that I just mentioned. The Tech Help Collective, they do technology research and they broadcast their knowledge. So everyone can actually work in this environment. Everyone knows what they're doing with the wallets. Everyone knows how to set up a meeting with Zoom and use different tools effectively. That's Tech Help Collective. Organizational Labs is pretty much doing work like this. Building systems so that people can get involved with Littlefish, lowering barriers, information sharing, operations, that type of thing, but lots of research as well. So if you're a researcher, you like to look into different DAOs, what they do, you hop into some organizational lab stuff. House is all about community building and content creation and communications. So if you're a marketer, that type of thing, House is all about is for you. If you're involved in many different communities in Catalyst, also for you, go and talk about Littlefish, be our ambassador. Maybe that should be a role as well. Dream Engine, that's where we think about like where do we take this thing, where do we go? Governance stuff, token engineering, all that type of thing. And the Forge is pretty much where we do software. So if you're a software developer doing that thing, you probably fall into one of these roles. So for each of these groups, we have defined proposal roles. And you can, once you find a proposal role here, you can also find responsibilities here. They're all tagged, so you can easily find what is a responsibility, what is a role. You can find what does a remote work wizard do. They find, test, and use digital work tools. They curate resources to help learn these tools. They take care of tool adoption in Littlefish Foundation, and they help other Littlefish learn, use tools more effectively. So it's all about tools. And we do this for pretty much all the different groups. We have organizational experimenter and DAO researchers. One does internal stuff. So these are all experiments. This is an experiment into organizational design. So we'll be collecting some data on how well this works. So probably how many people did Ikigai on this, and if they did it well, if they understood it, that type of thing. And then we'll try to build better systems as we go. And we're going to do this in many different areas. And DAO researchers, they go out and research DAOs who solve problems in the space. and apply some of that, some of the what they find, bring it back here, and maybe we have some use for that knowledge as well. And that's what our researchers do. We have many different roles for Love House. It's all about like actually taking a piece of Littlefish Foundation and making it as widely known and used as possible. So we have Ikigai, we have the Vault. The Vault is the main knowledge hub for Littlefish Foundation. Someone can put in the link for that as well into the chat. Action advocates. This is a specific role we have in one of the proposals relating to Gimbal Labs. We'll be creating a project-based learning module with them. So if you want to hop into that, you can become an action advocate and help teach actions at Gimbal Labs. And more, lots more. All of these have a lot more detail that we could go into, and some common responsibilities that I want to give a little moment to, because these kind of get down to like what type of behavior we want, what type of behavior we want to encourage from the community. Like there's no boss, there's no like someone telling you what to do, but so it's critical to show initiative, and I think we're getting there. With Newman just jumped in last week, did an open office hour, did an Ikigai onboarding. So that's the type of initiative. So if we all do that, if you all like, imagine 20, 30 different people just taking initiative, solving problems that they see, that's an incredibly effective organization, and that's the type of teal organization that we want to build. And what are other things we can all do? Like we can solve problems for each other. So once you see a problem, you solve it. If you can make it so that others won't have that same problem, if you prepare knowledge so that they won't have the same problem, that's a great action. That's how we get better as an organization. And lots of others. So educating others, identifying problems, solving those problems, and just making Littlefish awesome. So that's the main goal. And at the bottom, I've defined all the F9 proposal roles, but also like defined some of the non-proposal roles, and I think I'll be defining a few more as they pop into my head. And of course, if you guys come up with stuff, we can put some roles here as well. But think of these more like archetypes for roles. So once you see something that you like, you can mix and match these, and you don't just do one of these, you do many of these at the same time, like as much as you want. That's the type of environment. So you can mix and match. So you want to become a master of Discord, you like the application Discord, you want to make Littlefish Discord as awesome as possible, cool. That goes really well with like building a community builder stuff. So you can mix and match those two things. But you're also a great content creator. You love YouTube, but you don't really like Twitter. That's fine. You can just do YouTube. Like these are just guides, just general directions of what is needed, rather than this one person needs to do all of these things. So yeah, those are roles, responsibilities at the Littlefish Foundation. So if you're interested in any of these, what you can do is you can hop into this board and you can go through all of these, and you can build your Ikigai with this. You can jump in, you can just pretty much just copy this into an empty area, and then fill this board. Just ask yourself, what do I love? And then put some stuff in here. What am I good at? What do I think we need? What can I be paid for? And just getting that thought process started, you'll be able to find stuff that you can do, that you can enjoy. And once you do that, you just take it and you put it right here. And then after that, put it into Discord on our action channel. And when you do that, now we all know what you can do, what type of things you're interested in. We know a little bit more about you, and can get to work. And that's pretty much it for roles and responsibilities. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. And if you guys have any questions on that, would love to answer.
Thank you, Chaka. It was great as usual.
Thank you, Jim.
Hooray! That was awesome.
Thank you, guys. Hopefully this becomes like an asynchronous way of onboarding new members and also like getting to know about littlefish. If you have any questions that pop up during this process, like leave a comment there, ask in Discord, like let's make it better. Like I know there are many knowledge gaps within there. I know they exist, like for sure. I just dropped the vault there. Like it has a lot of information, but we can just link all of that information right in there. But solving those problems as they occur, like that's the best way to go. So if you happen upon these problems, just let us know and we'll fix those.
Yeah, I think that the like it struck me that it was sort of like going on to Indeed or some job board, and you could see like here are our roles, here are like our open jobs, and I really think that's like a common format that I think that we can adopt. I just this gives me so much better understanding of what is going on in this whole organization, and it really does. I do think that it's something that it's the big barrier to onboarding. It's just like who and what and and all that type of stuff, and that it's aligned to the proposer, to the proposals is wonderful. Yeah, there's a lot of good things that can come about of this, especially the like getting everyone's Ikigai. I was working with Randall from Done Collectively, and I was like, oh, and we'd been in contact a couple of times before, but then I saw that he's got an Ikigai, he's done the Ikigai process. And then I'm like, oh yeah, and he's kind of comical, and you get a sense of who someone is by looking at their Ikigai. And I think it sets us up for the right kind of communication and collaboration. Like I think it accelerates it. It gets it to like the next stage, so we don't have to go through months of like figuring out who does what and what they like to do and etc. And it will help me individually, internally, to sort of discover what I like to do and what opportunities there are here in the organization, and the fact that you don't have to really ask anyone to get involved with this. I mean, it's the bonus points of the internet, that you're just like, oh, if you're into visualizations and AI and you want to work with this thing, then you just go ahead and do it. But then here is the special sauce of littlefish, is that you're going to find some people that want to do it, that want to basically like reading your blog, like an action. It's just like, yeah, I've created something that shows something about what I was working on. So I'm very, very optimistic about all of this, and looking forward to participating more.
And you can be the teacher and the student at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, it breaks down that whole teacher-student kind of BS. It's just like, oh yeah, we're all learning together.
Yeah.
Harshad gets it definitely.
We are breaking down most of the things that belong to old economy and education, lots of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is a great segue into the next section. So what we got going on is, in the last 20 minutes, let's jump into the other board we have. And if you guys can open up the link as well, if you'd like to participate in this. We're just gonna look at the Littlefish Foundation's, the organization's Ikigai, and then try to put some new things there, maybe do a new one. And I'm going to share my screen, and I'd like, Jim, if you could, maybe
Yeah,
you'd like to share the screen, or would you like me to?
yeah, if you can share, it's better for me.
Okay, here we go. So Jim already got started with the Littlefish Foundation's Ikigai. So this is talking about the entire organization.
Yeah,
So-
we can start with what we are good at, and we can continue at counterclockwise. So this would be better, I think.
Right.
So the world is changing. So we are. I would like to start with what we are good at. Most individuals who form up the Littlefish Foundation have strong software development capabilities. The people are also good at art systems thinking, as we are together here because of the web trio and collective knowledge. And these are our experiences, and so Littlefish will have such experiences because of the members. In order to form up Littlefish Foundation, this is the minimum requirement, I think. So what can we be paid for? In the beginning, people were slaves, in the king times. After the Industrial Revolution, we became 9-to-5 slaves, and we used to get paid for occupying the seats, and we were expected to have our duties with our lowest capabilities. This is what we call salary. So Littlefish Foundation changes this, and we expect to have some actions from the members and all the participants, and the actions will be sold as NFTs, and this will make money for all of us. And on the right hand side, I can say what the world needs. Before having Littlefish Foundation, I created a startup about 3 years ago, and it was funded by the largest bank of Turkey, and we became the slaves of them. So I sold all my shares 2 months ago, and I can say that the problem with the startups are you choose the best people around you, and there's a bigger world around Littlefish Foundation, so people can start organizing other people regardless of the borders. So we need, because of that, I say that startup version 2. So we can find the exact people by checking their Ikigais. Also, we need collective activism. We cannot. The majority of the governments and other stuff don't hear us. So we can combine our forces, and we can have collective activism, and we can find global solutions to local problems. And I can talk about a little bit about second brain before getting to here. So right now, nowadays, what are we using? We are using, Google and other sources of information, but they are not filtered and funneled for our knowledge. So everybody and every colony needs second brain. Second brain will be some sort of collective knowledge that's gathered by the members of the colonies. So we can ask anything to second brain, and we can get direct information from the second brain, because we are, our economy, our lots of stuff are going towards e-commerce, and we need an additional phase for digitalism. Yes, this is the best part that I love. I try to show here the degrees of types of freedom. So we started to have monetary freedom, and we have now cryptocurrencies, and we can exchange them through each other without men in the middle. And with the help of open source systems that was started by Linux and GNU Foundation, the knowledge that are available to corporations and some kind of lobbies are tend to go to open source, and now we have lots of information that is not secret. So we can use this information and we can have great things together with these systems and information. Social integrity, this is what we have right now. We are all around the world, and we can combine our knowledge, and we can work together, and we can communicate. I think this is a type of freedom that we have. As you know, the arts and science, it was also disrupted and handled by the agencies, institutions, or art galleries, or record makers. And now we don't need any of them. And as you know, Satoshi, we don't know if Satoshi Nakamoto has a degree or a diploma, but $2 trillion are now in cryptocurrencies, and nobody is asking for that anymore. When we come to alternate realities, it's, I think, yes, it's in the middle. Right now, we are living the reality of the industry and the other forces that took us to that point. So when we will be able to use the system, when we create the colonies, we will create alternate realities. We will have better world. We will have art without men in the middle, and we will have our own knowledge that no one can interrupt, and we can live these alternate realities here. And so on. So what the world needs till organizations as we do right now. Also, if you would like to add anything here, please join me.
I do.
Great.
Yeah. Proposals.
For now.
Oh yeah, what we can be paid for. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You know.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna maybe propose next time, like who writes the best proposals in Catalyst as a proposal, and then I'm just gonna name myself as the best and let anyone challenge me. Oh, what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, but no, I love that idea, but it's sort of a isn't it sort of a known thing, like which one gets like the highest, which proposal is the highest rated, right? Is that's on the book somewhere?
Well, you mean the reviews? I don't think
well,
the reviews count, but maybe the votes count, maybe.
Well, maybe, yeah. Which proposal got the most votes? I mean, that's just one way of saying, like, okay, which is the best proposal? Of course, I think your proposals are the best.
Oh yeah. If anyone says otherwise, I want to see their proposals. I really do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I you know, it is the value, you know, the value chain. You know, it is one place to get started. It's like, where does your money come from? You know, what am I doing? I'm time stamping videos for money. You know, I just got paid. I got enough for my my minimum payments on my credit card. And so what I'm doing now is like looking through those roles and seeing like where does that task or skill, because I like doing it because I like, you know, I like engaging with the content, and I like that it's making value, you know, pretty much out of nothing, where someone might not watch the whole video, but with my timestamps there, they can. So where would that, we could, because I think that's like maybe in the organizational role, like time stamping videos and stuff.
Oh, as roles, I'm not quite sure if it's not defined, and if you feel like defining a new role, just put it up there.
Yeah.
And
I know it. Well,
if
it's gotta come close. It's something in information.
there is content creator, but that's not quite it.
Not quite it. Yeah.
No.
Feels like it's in. Could be in the love house.
Why not content creator?
I guess it is. Well, because it's sort of like content assistant creator. So it's like someone's already created it. I'm like a reverse in that sense. I'm, like you're augmented create content that's already created. You're like content additive creator, not original. It's not original content, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm recording the videos, so I would be the content creator, but yeah, I guess I just don't have really the time or the passion to do those timestamps as well.
Right. Yeah. And and there is that like that idea of like, you create it once something is created, and then curating, like that I feel like is a non-industrial skill. It's like an information skill, information age skill to like curate. It's like a librarian. It's like information science. I think maybe it's in the research. I think it has to do with organizational, like informational organization. Oh, yeah, here we go. Process sharing, operations and information sharing.
All right, just gonna jump in here. Anyone has anything they want to add? Pi just recommended knowledge sharing. I think knowledge sharing is something we're good at. Well,
Yep.
maybe we're getting good at, but I'm gonna put it right here we already are good at it. We got the vaults. There's lots of information there.
In fact, collective knowledge was trying to say the similar thing.
Right? It's kind of similar, yeah.
Yeah.
What we're good at is building collective knowledge, maybe.
Yeah.
Say building,
Okay.
and then sharing sharing knowledge. Yeah.
Oh, crap.
And second brain will be used for sharing that knowledge.
Creating a marketplace for beneficial action, Pi says, let's say.
Yeah.
What we're good at, what we can be paid for. That's exactly what we're getting paid for to do, yeah. Exactly. Anything else? So we want to build this like Ikigai works not only for the person, it works for the organization. So this is the first attempt, I guess. The first colony, Littlefish Foundation's own Ikigai together. But at some point, maybe we merge, we just systematically, like programmatically merge all the different Ikigai that we already have, just these, and merge them together programmatically. That's also possible.
That'd be fun.
One day we're gonna do that as well, and that's gonna be, I don't know what it's gonna be. It'll be fun.
And all the following colonies will have Ikigais like that.
Oh yeah. Imagine all different communities using it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm curious if a desire for the foundation is to develop the capability to help colonies create their NFTs.
Could you say that again?
Yeah,
please?
like so let's just say like I've got a colony here doing on the ground meaningful work and it's quote unquote regenerative. We have all like everything put in a spreadsheet, that could be an individual action, or it could be bundled up into one larger NFT. But like we don't have the bridge to go from this action to now these are NFTs. So like is the foundation looking to, or do you already have like the capability to say, hey community, like let's help you turn these data points into NFTs?
Right, that's exactly what we're building. So our proposal for Fund 8 was pretty much the proof of concept of that, and we're building that. One of our developers is here, actually, Burak, but I think he's in a busy area, but we were just having a developer meeting with them earlier today, and we're working on a very basic version of that. And that's the tool, that's one of the tools that we're building, is you're going to be able to create an action. And in this context, it is something that you did, all the evidence for all of that packaged into an NFT, and you'll be able to create that NFT using our platform, and you'll own that NFT. You will own that action. And
Yeah.
you will have that tool.
Dope. So that being here somewhere, like is that something the world needs and that we're good at?
Well, hopefully it is something the world needs. We will see. We believe it is. We will see if so. Where can we put it?
Yeah, like so actually Pythagoreans really got a great story. I don't know if everybody if you don't know what they've got going on there. It's in Arizona.
Yes.
And basically they are a community that's building and using this sort of spreadsheet that has like their actions, like what they're actually doing. The way I kind of see it in light of this is that each of those actions can get put in the Ikigai. So like one of them, building out or digging out the trenches for a garden, and you can get paid for it. You are good at it. It is what it's sort of like where it sort of fits, like that, like every line on that spreadsheet, doing the admin, creating a meeting, doing the lunar rituals, like all of that stuff fits somewhere in an Ikigai. So each colony, each community of people are going to do something. Like we're having a meeting right now. Do we love it? Is it what the world needs? Are we good at it? Where does it fit? And then try to move it towards the center, right? Yeah, I love it.
So this exactly this is pretty much what actions would be. Proof of work, proof of action, right here.
Right. So planting, and that's a skill. And so just planting a tomato. So after all of it's built and then just planting, like it is something that the world needs. It is something that you're paid for. Are you good at it? And then when someone comes in and they say, hey, I'm not good at it, but then I can get, like that's where that learning, like the whole organization sort of moves around, and I see this as key and fundamental.
What I'd like to see is like there's someone I could talk to here at Littlefish, and I say, hey, I got this spreadsheet, it has multiple tabs of the actions that we've done. Help us to NFTify it. And then someone there says, oh yeah, we can help you with that.
Yeah.
So
and
once we
and that there's a framework, there's a tool that allows you, and then maybe that's it, because I mean, a spreadsheet is something that people are familiar with. So being able to go from spreadsheet to the Littlefish D app.
Yes. Yes. That's I would love to work with anyone who is interested in like this transition from like organized on the ground spreadsheet thing to NFT in the ecosystem, properly digitized.
Yeah.
Well, once we have the tooling, it'll be as simple as just putting all this information into into something like an Instagram upload page, and you can do that one by one. That's going to take some time to upload all of this. But once we already have that, I mean, writing a script that will take all of this information and turning it into an NFT, it's actually not that difficult as well. Like we can also do that and help you create a bunch of actions just immediately, just like that.
If we
That's
could,
also possible.
yeah, if we could hack it before the tooling is perfect, then it would just be kind of annoying. That's totally fine by me, and I'd be happy to get involved. You know.
Right. Once we have it, I think we can help you out with this. Yeah.
Sweet.
And that would be the guys in the forge. So anyone out there that's putting like those forge tasks into their good at, love to, because it's certainly something that the world needs, like good developers that are working in this sort of space.
You don't need us, by the way, to turn this into NFTs either. You can just, if you get a script going, you can just create NFTs from this. But
Yeah,
without
maybe
the littlefish ecosystem, like they're not actions, so they're just recorded then.
Yeah, but like, what if, like, could we kind of use this as one of the test modes of like, now will people buy these NFTs, and like, can we still find a way to let people know that they're available, to even see if there's a marketplace for beneficial action in this case, like within this context? You know, that would be, I'd be totally up for it, knowing that it's like not connected with the system, but just as like a little tester. You know, can we create 20 or some maybe enough for one lunar cycle, or something? So anyway, I'm happy to talk more about this. I didn't mean to say as much as I did here, but I'd be happy to talk in another time, another session.
Yeah. How about we connect and talk about it in another meeting?
Cool.
If you can just drop your information in the chat, DM or from Discord, and we'll chat.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. I love this. I love this conversation simply because it frames out like the whole story of littlefish. You know, it really does sort of like recontextualize, because we are doing actions like every day. You're pushing out actions, you know, things that you do. And then, but how to get it into an ecosystem where the value compounds, you know, where the value is recognized and then compounds, meaning that it sort of echoes out through a colony and then wider and all through the ocean. So that's kind of what I see, and I see that this is the first real total structure, you know, where it does have like the total view of it, like of a whole ecosystem of like how to get a community up and running with an internal values economy. Because we're doing all these things that have value to us and to each other. You know, like what you said, Chakan, the you know, you solve it for yourself, and then, you know, you share it among the community that has value, and then it sort of propagates through the whole system. And what Pythagorean is doing is he's created this spreadsheet. It's just like, here I'm recording the value. And then that gives us, as littlefish, the sort of direction to like make the app work, sort of the UI UX of it. You know, because right now he has a spreadsheet, and it would be great if there was like some way to get the wallets and barcodes, and, you know, just to make that slippery funnel, so that the friction is low. And you know, it has a personality, you know, that it's like designed properly. You know, it could be conversational design academy, social design academy style. Like there's just so much like innovation.
Oh yeah, it will get there. It will get to that point where it's just so easy to do it. It's gonna take some time. It's very difficult to do at the point.
I'm happy to be some degree annoyed end user, you know, like knowing that it's not going to be all great in the beginning. So I gotta run. Thank you all so much for the welcome space and the important work that y'all are doing. Gracias. Adios. Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Pi.
right.
See ya.
Bye.
Teşekkürler.
Teşekkürler to you. Thank you. And I think we can conclude the meeting here as well. Thank you all.
Yeah, for sure.
We can stop the recording, Simon. Thank you.